Hello everybody. In this video we will try to understand the impact of lunar eclipse that's going to occur on 8th November 2022. So according to timeanddate.com, if you observe, so the lunar eclipse, actually according to Hyderabad, I'm saying, so you can check for your place also. So the eclipse, the partial eclipse, basically it starts from 2:39 p.m. and it ends at 6:19 p.m. But the penumbral eclipse, it actually begins at 1:32 p.m. and ends at 7:26 p.m. So you can consider, if you just leave the penumbral thing, then it's actually the duration of the eclipse is 2:39 to 6:19 p.m. Okay. Now we will try to understand the impact of this particular lunar eclipse. This is actually happening in the nakshatra Bharani. So what is a Bharani nakshatra? Bharani nakshatra lord is Yama, right? That is one important thing. So Bharani nakshatra is, it majorly represents the desire, right? And also more desire. See, compared to any other nakshatra, the pleasure seeking, more pleasure seeking nakshatra is Bharani. So the pleasure of Bharani, the pleasure seekingness of Bharani is represented by elephant, by our ancient rishis. So more pleasure seeking without any boundaries, right? So that is one representation. And going even going for some illegal things also, just for more pleasure, right? That is one important thing we need to understand. And there is a newborn energy also involved here, right? A kind of newborn energy thing, because Ashwini nakshatra is the first nakshatra and Bharani is the second nakshatra. Even the sign Aries itself, right? So Bharani nakshatra entirely lies in the sign of Aries, right? We call it as Mesha Rasi. So completely lies in Aries. So Aries itself represents a fiery energy, a newborn energy, right? It's completely ruled by Mars, right? And it is even, it represents the military, right? The criminals and also the police, such kind of stuff. That is Aries basically. And clearly the eclipse is impacting the military, the police, the firemen, or whatever, the criminals, right? You would observe more events related to these people. Even you can relate it with the present Russian, the Russia-Ukraine war also, right? So more things you will see. That is one thing for sure. And another one is seeking more pleasure. So you can find the people in the society, the kind of events that you see in the society. People do anything, they go boundless, they go boundaryless, right? For more pleasure, or for to fulfill their desires, whatever you can say, right? So they don't think about anything, right? So there is no morality, you can say. So this is going to activate most of the immoral things in the society. That is one thing for sure. And the newborn energy aspect is very much important, right? So Aries always represents its ending of something and starting of something, some new energy, because Pisces is the last sign in the all zodiac signs, and Aries is the first sign. Even if you correlate with the energy of energy of a baby, right? So the Ashwini nakshatra is a newborn thing, right? Ashwini is the first nakshatra and Bharani is the next nakshatra. So when a baby borns, he finds some jnana, you can say. He observes the things, right? He understands that he is in some world. He came to some new world. He clearly observes it. So Ketu is the Jnana Karaka. That's why our ancient rishis, made Ketu as the nakshatra lord for Ashwini. And then once the baby came to know about the world, right? It tries to get, it wants something more, right? It finds the aspect of desire. So the next thing is desire. Once a baby borns, the first thing is understanding the things, that is jnana, right? That is one thing, means just seeing the world, right? That is the jnana aspect. So Ketu is the lord there for Ashwini, and next to it, the Bharani, the lord is Venus, that is Shukra. So it represents desire, right? So the desire aspect. So here you may find even the world leaders, because I'm talking about the world leaders and world relationships here, because Libra is also a part of it, the sign of Libra, which is the sign of relationships, because the Rahu Ketu axis you can find on Aries and Libra, right? Aries Libra axis. So clearly you can understand the world relationships are going to take a new turn, right? And it is going to lead to a more desire. So, or you can take it vice versa also, because of more desire of the world leaders, the relationships will turn into a dramatic way. You'll really find it. And the importance here goes to Mars, right? Because Mars is in the edge of this particular Taurus and Gemini, right? Taurus is an earthy sign and Gemini is an airy sign, right? So this particular edge, the 0 degree stuff, right, in between the junction, Mars is present. It's very, very powerful here. It is in Mrigashira nakshatra, its own nakshatra. So you can still see the war aspects here. You can still see the war aspects. You can still see the world relationships, the world leaders, the relationships among them, taking a dramatic way and making this Mars more and more stronger. So whenever a planet in your horoscope is of minimum degree, that particular planet is going to play a very vital role in your horoscope, in your life, right? So let us say in somebody's horoscope, if moon has very less degree, right, very less degree, then you can say mother aspect. The mother aspect is going to play a very vital role, even in the natal horoscopy you say, right? So the minimum degree planet is going to play a very major role. And even let us say if the person is of Dhanur Lagna and 8th lord is moon, and moon is very, very minimal degree, then you can clearly understand the 8th house is of in-laws house, and moon is the 8th lord here. So in-laws are going to play a very vital role. And also moon, as moon is playing a vital role, so mother is also going to play a vital role, right? So let us say in somebody's horoscope, sun is of very less degree, right? So you can understand, let us say the person is of Cancer ascendant, and sun is placed in some house, right? Let us say in the second house itself, that is in Leo, and it is of very minimal degree. then you can understand in that person's life the father and the family is going to play a very, very vital role. Of course, in everybody's life, family plays a vital role, but it's a kind of your life, most of your life duration is going to driven by that factor. That's what I'm trying to tell, right? So even though everybody has a family, everybody's things are driven by the family, but it's not like the person may have some kind of achievement, some kind of other aspects in life also in general. But when I'm taking the example as Cancer ascendant, and the second house is Leo here, and then Sun is placed in Leo itself with very, very minimal degree, then just imagine in that person's life, a father and the family is going to play a very vital role. It's something like most of the duration, or at least a significant amount of duration of the person's, the native's life is actually driven by, completely driven by the family only, right? Completely driven by the family and the father. Means he may take most of the major decisions in his life because of his father, because of his family, or for his family and for his father, kind of, right? Atmosphere he can observe, that kind of energy he can feel, right, for a significant amount of duration in his life. So that's the example I'm giving. So clearly you can understand the newborn energy aspect is clearly present, the world relationships turning into a dramatic way, which is making the war aspect more and more significant, and that's what we are also observing here. And you can also watch in this channel, I made 28th February 2022. That was a big day where the world is completely going to change, right? So that also we predicted, it's because of war, right? So 28th February 2022 onwards, you can observe you could observe a kind of different phenomena going all over the world, right? And now the special mention here is of Saturn. Saturn is watching this particular Libra still. The 4-planet conjunction is happening in Libra. The Ketu, Venus, Mercury, Sun conjunction in Libra during this eclipse, and during this eclipse, Saturn's energy is also going to fall on this Libra because of its 10th aspect. Saturn has 3rd, 7th, and 10th aspects. And the important point here is whether Saturn is benefic to a particular country or not. Irrespective of that one, the aspect of Saturn is always going to give some trouble, So the 3rd, 7th, and 10th aspects of Saturn are troubling in nature. Whether Saturn is benefic to a country or malefic to a country, irrespective of that, right? The presence of, I'm not talking about the Saturn's placement, I'm talking about its aspects. Saturn's aspects are always challenging, always a kind of troublesome, you can say, So clearly, as Saturn is watching, right, with the 10th aspect of, with its 10th aspect, so the kind of karma that's going to happen in this particular, Libra thing, that is the relationships among the leaders all over the country, is going to be very troublesome. It's very challenging environment. The only benefic thing, if you want to observe, here is the Jupiter is actually still transiting in the sign of Pisces. If you observe, the moment Jupiter came to Pisces, in India the coronavirus cases also reduced, right? So as long as Jupiter is in Pisces, right, there is a kind of you can say some kind of balance in some countries at least. But still, the Saturn is also watching this particular Jupiter with its 3rd aspect. So there's a kind of, it's a kind of seesaw thing running between this Jupiter's energy and the Saturn's aspect on the the third aspect of Saturn on the Jupiter. So there's a kind of seesaw thing going on. So it's also a kind of fluctuating energy all over. So at least there is a percentage of positiveness observed from Jupiter, right? And one more thing, I want to make another video that is on England basically. So in the previous video, I just made the Pisces ascendant countries may have a kind of troublesome environment. So I want to extend that particular part also. I just want to involve that stuff also in the next video to an extent. So totally the Mars here coming at the edge, and you are also seeing a lunar eclipse is also ensuring an earthquake, right? Is also ensuring an earthquake. A significant earthquake can be observed because the earthy and airy aspect are coming here, and Mars is clearly very strong. It is in its own nakshatra. So that is one thing. The Taurus is earthy sign and Gemini is the airy sign. So the earthy and airy energy here is clearly ensuring an earthquake here. So that is one thing I want to say. So can India in India that earthquake may happen or not? So that kind of thing we'll try to discuss in some other video. But clearly the sense of earthquake is visible here, right? And one more thing is the fiery aspect. Fiery aspect is also clearly visible. Even so, Mars is fiery in nature. And in addition to Mars, you can see the eclipse is actually happening in the Aries sign. Aries is a very newborn fiery energy, right? So the fiery aspect you can also relate it with war. So in war you can still see that fire going on. So generally whenever this fiery aspect is very significant in a chart, you can especially the mundane charts like this, you can clearly say the hotels, the wherever the fire is actually the daily thing, the hotels, and mainly based on fire only they run, right? So the police department, the military departments, these are all going to have very, very kind of bad days, you can say, right? So the earthquake aspect also you can clearly expect here because Mars sitting in the edge here. So that's the whole observation in this chart. So the positive thing is Jupiter in Pisces, and so many negative things are observed here, of course, especially the Bharani. In the Bharani, the more desired aspect is a kind of so it's giving a sense like the world leaders, like if you take Putin, will he stop the war with Ukraine alone, or will he extend that war to war on other countries also? That kind of sense is coming here, right? Because the desire aspect is so there is no other nakshatra in the whole constellation other than Bharani that can show the infinite desire. The Bharani itself is the infinite desire, right? Unstoppable infinite desire is boundaryless infinite desire is Bharani. So that is actually the fluctuating lunar eclipse energy is actually impacted by this particular Bharani nakshatra. So that is clearly indicating us a kind of more interest on other countries for world leaders. So it may also sound like any country in the world, even China is trying to occupy Taiwan. So the desire of China even more increases. So you can expect the China-Taiwan war may happen after this. So today is 8th November. Today is lunar eclipse. So just maybe after this lunar eclipse, you may find the China-Taiwan things coming into the picture. Even the other countries, wherever they have the boundary issues or border issues, whatever, they may also come into picture. Even the other countries, you find even India, Pakistan, or India, China, or wherever there are some kind of border clashes, or wherever they have some kind of desire. Let us say India wants some POK region, or India wants some of its lost land, right? So even India may desire for that one, because they may think very much ethically that they want their lost land, right? They may also have this kind of notion, right? So that kind of desire will increase in the world leaders. So India may want whatever lost land, with the China and India border, right? So this kind of things clearly can happen, or even as it is indicating the Bharani aspect here, even the countries, even the small countries, they may want to extend their land. They may want to extend their borders, right? That they may try to challenge the big countries. Even it can also happen. Basically, the fundamental thing we can see here is more desire and more desire for for improvement of their own countries and their own egos, and the relationship aspect is really challenging, troublesome here in the Libra, the relationship among the world leaders. So when you see the relationship among the world leaders is very much troublesome, and everyone wants something more and more, and clearly the Mars is very much significant, you can feel like saying the war aspect is still going to increase more and more, right? So it is actually indicating a newborn thing also. So a new war can also be predicted from this. And as Jupiter is in Pisces, you can always say one word, that is, whatever happens, that happens for the benefit of humanity, right? So that's that one thing we can say. And as Saturn is watching the relationship among the world leaders, it's indicating the world leaders' relationship is going to be very troublesome, right? That's one thing. So this is the sense of this particular chart, the lunar eclipse, 8th November 2022. Thanks for watching this video.